I'm Debbie Friedmann. Welcome to Big Basement Banter. I'm the director and choreographer of REEFER Madness.
Hi, and I'm Chris Wardell, and I am doing the lighting design, video design, and special effects.
Okay, so Chris, you're doing a bunch of stuff. Doing a lot of stuff. How are you feeling about taking on multiple roles, and how do you see those roles as like interconnected and working together?
I think there's certain like deadlines to each, and I'm sort of sorting them out so that I can figure out what needs to do what, where the budget needs to go, but also what I can accomplish in the time that I have. So special effects is sort of needs to get worked in very early on so that it can get built into rehearsals. That we can also build the mechanics for it. But lights, the most I can do is a lot of the paperwork, and then that only gets implemented in the actual rehearsal space with the lights that are accompanying with it. And then right in between, right in that sweet spot, is projections, because I can actually build a lot of that before going into the space.
Yeah, and with lights and projections in particular, how do you find it helpful in some ways to be doing both of those? Because for me, as someone who doesn't know that much about lights, I definitely see them as being kind of like, in some ways, interconnected. And also, like, I've seen shows where like you can tell that they are not well worked together. So how does that work for you?
It really all depends on what it is that is being projected or what is being lit. I think by having it coming from the same person, I can always see the differences of lights and the differences of video and find that balance in between so that we can see both, as well as the actors who are on stage. And then, bringing it all together and finding that balance, I think, is the easiest way. But also, projection is light, so it's just another tool in my repertoire.
Yeah, that's kind of how I see it too. It's like it adds in some ways, even though it's not necessarily I'm not going to give away too much, but it's not necessarily always being used in our show to light someone. It can be, and like I think that's a really interesting kind of piece of doing both of those, which is fun.
Yeah.
Before you started working on this show, I know that you've done a lot of different shows and you've worked a lot of different roles. So what's one of your like favorite roles / shows that you've worked on before this?
I guess I would probably have to say anything to do with puppetry. I did a show back in 2016 because nobody was doing any puppet shows, so I decided to make my own and also star in it. It was a two-hander, so it was not really a star, but co-star it. Yeah. So by being able to build my own story and puppetry, and I was also able to perform with it too, so I was really given as much freedom as I wanted because I was producing it as well. Yeah,
that's fun. That's a fun place to be. I mean, I definitely like directing shows that I'm also like working on as well, like as a sort of a producer. Like it's a fun position to be in because you get to like make a lot more decisions, which is nice. So you're just talking about the fact that you've starred in some of your own work in the past. When you start in those, I'm assuming that you are an actor, despite being very tall, so comedically, as we sit here, you're sitting and like full head taller than I am sitting down, but that's neither here nor there. How do you find your light, and how would you advise other actors to also find their lights?
If you can see the audience, you're not in your light.
That's actually very good advice.
Unless the audience is lit. Oh, it's a conundrum, but not really.
How often does the audience
it feels warmer, I would say. But it that feeling when you get on stage. Well, maybe not everyone does because I was an actor. But if you get on stage and you're like, "Whoa, that's really bright," that's probably your light. Let's be real honest. And if you're like, "Oh, I can see everybody just fine, and I'm not blinded,"
then it's probably not your light. You're probably not in your light. Yeah.
I think that's probably the easiest way of doing
it.
Otherwise, find your spike. Ask for a spike. Don't do it. Lots of things. There's lots of different ways.
Don't find your light. That's a good piece.
Well, no, I mean don't not do the thing. Don't purposely try to. Like I've seen entire shows where somebody has walked in and their face is cut in half by this very spherical orb that is specifically supposed to spotlight them in the face, and they stood in it for their entire monologue, and one of his eyes was lit and the other one was not, and for me, I notice when the restaurants dim the lights for the evening mood, and it freaks me out. because I'm a little bit paranoid about it. I'm like, is that me? Am I going insane right now? Or the light just going out? No, it's the room. Great. Okay, moving on.
Do you find as a lighting designer that you notice like subtle changes in light, like just out in the world more than other people do? Like, are you more aware of like, oh, like this particular lamp is using this particular type of light bulb? Like, can you do that? Like when you just walk into a space?
Yes. I notice when the sun all of a sudden has a cloud going in front of it, and I get completely distracted. A little bit of ADD, so it's very distracting. And I'll start looking at that and trying to figure out what is actually happening in the room. But I mean, it's the same thing with puppets. Like I find everything has a face.
Does it? If this couch had a face, what would it look like? Can you describe the couch as a puppet?
I think like just looking at it right away, all of these are eyes. It'd be like a.
So it'd just have like multiple. It'd be like a spider.
Like a little spider maybe, or like this entire thing could be like.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah. Can we do that in the show?
Course.
Great. There might be that in the show, so you'll have to come and find out.
Everything, or it could, it could be the couch eats a person. Or like arms can come out from the back side.
I actually sent. Have you ever watched Made?
Made what? What did
it's
we make?
It's a TV show.
Made what?
It's like Made, like like someone who sweeps the house.
Oh, like a cleaning person. Yeah.
A cleaning person.
No.
There's a show called Made, and it's very good. It's a very heavy show actually, but there's a scene where she gets eaten by the couch, and I sent it to. The girl who's playing May in our show being like, you should watch this because it's very accurate to what I see as happening in the show. We have some questions from people at home for you, Chris, so we're going to ask one of those.
Oh, there's lots of differences. I think it's very dependent on the script that is provided, but I think for the most part, one could assume, at least with the tropes of musicality, that it is very bright and colorful, unless the scene is sort of sad. So I think there's a little bit more play, wherein like a dramatic play might be dealing with a lot of the same similar lighting effects. Like it's just a general wash over everything.
Ooh, that's a fun
And
one.
whatever role.
We already know.
What? Oh, for us together?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for us together, we really want to do Avenue Q.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be very fun. Yeah, that's a dream project as a creative partnership.
Yeah. No, I wanted to do. I wanted to direct it. I don't really have much musical talent though, but I would either be puppet master or like helping with creating the.
Yeah, you would help. Yeah, you would help people puppeteer. Yeah. Which I can't do. I love that show. I would love to do that show, but I feel like you'd have to do like years of research on puppets to do that show, and I don't know if I have that space in my life right now. But I have you, so this is why creative collaboration is my favorite thing. But if not with Chris, actually with Chris too, in a weird way, for me, Next Normal was always a really big dream project, so I kind of got to do that, which is like maybe like bad thing to say as an answer to you worked on lights for it, and that was for me. That's been a dream project for a while, so getting to do that was really cool. But getting to do this with you is also super fun because it's very different. REEFER Madness is a very different experience, I would say. Yeah.
So much.
Cool, great. Well, thanks for sitting down with me and chatting. This was super fun. And I can't wait for the world to see all the incredible work that you're doing and meet our couch.
Okay.
Meet our couch creature. Okay, bye.
I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm realizing so soon that I am here.
Okay, next audience question.
Do you have any audience questions for me you want to ask?
This is 12 minutes of bloopers. Let's go.
No, it's great. We're doing a good job.